Hello, welcome to More Than a Boy with More Than a Rose. My name's Rose and I'm here by myself with these bananas. As you can see, I didn't feel like putting on makeup or anything. Whatever is on my face has been left over since yesterday. If any of you follow my videos religiously, you know that I haven't been uploading in a week, and that's because I was in England. And I was in Manchester and I was actually visiting Piixiie. Craziest thing, because we had only known each other for about 6 months, never met in person. Obviously, she lives in England, and I think on Facebook, then we Skyped, and then I was like, hey, can I visit you in Manchester? Because I want to go to England and see your face. She was like, yeah. So then I bought a plane ticket, and I traveled to England. And I just have a couple of stories for you guys, because it was quite the adventure. I have, just outside of the actual England part of the trip, I was on 5 planes, 5 different airports in 6 days. My flight there was 18 hours, with all the layovers. Let me tell you, there was just some characters. I got on my first plane, and all was cool. It was an hour and a half, so I'm like, cool. That's, easy peasy. Let's get it over with. Out of the entire plane, there was one guy, one insanely obnoxious fellow, and he sat right next to me, listening to his Beats by Dre and tapping on the front seat. Surrounding me were completely nice old ladies, and then right next to me, just the most annoying person ever. There's also a crying baby that I just slip that baby some Benadryl or something, put a shot of vodka, it'll go to sleep. That's all you need to do. The next flight was gonna be 8 hours. It was an 8-hour flight, and that was overnight. So I was already kind of losing it after the first flight because McTappyson. I got on my 8-hour flight, and I sat next to this girl who was incredibly nice. Her name was Zoe? Start with a Z. And she was like, hey, we're gonna be spending the next 8 hours together. You wanna get to know each other? And I was like, yes, because I'm friendly. I think that was also the flight where our gate changed from B6 to this is one end of the airport, to D6, which was at the very opposite end. And as soon as they announced that, I was like, are you kidding me? That's literally where I came from. So I had to walk all the way back. There was a lot of walking. We got our meals halfway through. First of all, actually, this airplane was amazing. There was a TV screen on the back of the chairs. You can plug the US phone charger in there. I have an iPhone. So I plugged it in there and it charged your phone. You could watch movies. I ended up watching The Hangover, Crazy Stupid Love, which has Emma Stone, which I'm in love with. So me and Z ended up watching Budapest Hotel at the same time without knowing until we look over at each other's screen halfway through the movie, and we're at the exact same part, and we're were we just watching the same movie? Soulmates. Also, if I'm talking really loud or not pronouncing any of my words, I still can't hear. The pressure has not set in my head yet. Pressure in my ears. Also, if I sound tired, I woke up at 4 a.m. because in England that would have meant that I was 9, which is when I usually wake up. So I woke up at 4. Last night I went to bed at 7. So it was crazy, still jet lagged. We got our meals on the plane, and they were like, okay, do you want chicken or do you want fish? And I'm like, I'm vegan. And they're like, we can't help you. So I ended up getting the fish, and then I ate the rice that was around the fish, and I'm like, does this count as a meal? Ow. My ear just popped. So that plane ride ended, and then I had to get on my other flight, which I think that one had a 3-hour layover. I don't even remember that flight, to be honest. I was so dead. I couldn't sleep on the plane before because the seats were this, but then they also had a head pillow. You're sitting with your back hunched over, but your head had to be hunched over too. It was terrible. That just kind of flew by. And then the worst hour of my life happened. I think it's called customs. You have to go through customs. Not the part where you check your luggage and then you have to pull out your liquids, pull out, take off your shoes, go through the metal detector. Not that part. I had to go through this gate that was people who are coming from the United States. Go through this gate, and I couldn't find that gate, so I asked this is when I'm in Manchester now. After landing in Brussels, which I'm pretty sure was in France because everything was French and I had no idea what was going on, I asked this janitor lady in the airport, like, where am I supposed to go? I have no idea. How do I exit this building and find Piixiie, who's waiting for me at the arrivals gate? She just had the thickest British accent, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't know what you're saying. I was tired, I was hungry, could not think. I was like, okay. So I ended up just finding it, thank god. At this point, my phone doesn't have Wi-Fi because I'm in a different country. The airport had like this really weird Wi-Fi where like you had to sign up for it. After waiting in this long line, I get to the front. The teller, who was like this police dude who was really, really nice. I thank god I didn't have an asshole because I would have cried. Apparently, you had to fill out the landing card, which is like this big. It like asks you for your name and the address where you were staying. Now, since Piixiie and I live in different countries, I didn't have her phone number, so I couldn't text her like, hey, what's your address? Like, I didn't know that I needed it. And I couldn't Facebook message her because I didn't have Wi-Fi. I was like, I didn't fill one out. And so he's like, go back and fill one out. So I was like filling it out, and I was like, I don't know her address. I went back through the line hoping like if I play dumb, like they'll magically just let me in. I go up to them and I'm like, here you go. Like, don't look at the part where it says, you know, where are you staying? And it's left blank because I don't know where I'm staying. I give it to him and he's like, there's no address on here. And I'm like, fuck. Sitting there like, I'm already late. I was supposed to arrive at 10:15, I believe, and it was now 10:40. I'm freaking out, don't know what to do. I try to get Wi-Fi on my phone, it's not working. I'm like, by this time, my eyes are watering. I sit down on a bench somewhere and I'm almost to the point of like breaking out in a full-on cry. Like the tear was like almost out of my eyeball, and then I get Wi-Fi. Magical, and all of her messages came through. Luckily, she was gonna be late anyway, so I actually didn't make her wait too long. Her address, I filled it out. I went up and I was like, here's the damn address. Can I go to Manchester now? By the stroke of luck, I got out there, and then I see Piixiie for the first time, like in human. She's a lot taller than you think she'd be. That was actually the first thing we said to each other too. She's like, you're not as tall as I thought you were. And I'm like, you're not as short as I thought you were. Gave each other a big hug, freaked out like, you know, white girls do. I didn't think that like not having a car would be such a big deal because people who are around my age in Manchester or England don't really have cars. They have buses and trams. I had a suitcase that was like 100+ pounds. It was a really heavy suitcase because I packed everything. I packed my camera, a laptop, all of my clothes. My purse, which was my carry-on, was filled with 3 books because I'm addicted to the Maze Runner series. It had Cheerios because it's a flight necessity, really. We were doing a swap gift, so I had her present with me. So I'm carrying around like this 40-pound bag on my shoulder, lugging around this 100-pound suitcase, and we had to walk everywhere. Walking everywhere with that big-ass case and that really heavy, like, carry-on. So we ended up getting back to her house. I take 2 steps in her doorway, trip over my own suitcase, and fall. Yep. That was the thing. The whole week progressed. We went shopping. I found Starbucks. Got bubble tea because I can't go more than 5 days without bubble tea. While we were at the mall with the beautiful Poundland and my bubble tea, of course, I found Nando's. JK Nando's. Like, that's a thing. I found it, so I had to take a picture of it, of course, because it's freaking Nando's. Like, I thought that was a myth. Then we went to like this cool ass makeup store that their makeup is actually surprisingly cheaper than America's. Their eyelashes were £1, which roughly translates to $1.50 for us, like $150. And that's crazy to me because here eyelashes are like $6. So I was having a blast. I'm not sure if I should show you this because it's kind of penis-like. While we were at the makeup store, they had like a weird section, and it was all penis things, and I loved it. We sat and she taught me that fries were chips and then their chips were crisps, and I was like, I don't know what that means, but okay. As you can see, I have a lovely Starbucks because I'm a white girl. We took a lot of selfies. She looked bae AF. I looked like I had been on a plane for a very long time. We went to like the thrift store, but it's in the mall. They didn't have standalone stores. It was the weirdest. We found Minion onesies, which I quite liked. We went to another makeup store, and I found the Zoella line. I didn't know Zoella had a makeup line, so I was really excited because I'm like, YouTube. While we were going back and forth through traveling to stuff, took a double-decker bus, and I didn't know these existed. Because in Michigan, I use a car. We sat on like the top level of the thing so you can see out, and from that perspective, it looks like you're about to run over everyone, so that was really fun. There was a lot of movies involved. We watched one movie that was really old, and it was kind of cheesy, but I really liked it. I forgot what it was called. We also got 2 movies from a place in the mall, and it looked so promising. Like, we read the back of it in front of it, and it was like a group of teenagers, and we're like, that's gonna be a good one. We start playing it, and we're like, this is basically a porn. As low of quality as a porn would be. When are they gonna take their clothes off? We gotta shut this off. I go to the bathroom because I had to pee. Just so you know. I come back down and they start playing the second movie, and they're like, Rose, you would not believe it. This movie is the exact same thing. The front of the DVD was not the DVD that was within it, and that happened twice because we bought 2 DVDs. We ended up watching Mean Girls, I believe. We went back to the same mall. We came across something, and okay, in America, decent means like just good enough to the point where it's not bad. So like it's not good, but it's not terrible. And we came across a place that said decent cuts. I'm over here and get your decent haircuts. Sort of averagely good haircuts. So that gave me a chuckle, so I took a picture of it. She also had the cutest dog in the world, Sora. It was the cutest little thing ever, and I loved her. They also had this weird thing that was not real, and every time I looked at it, I was like, it's looking back at me. And come Thursday night, I get sick. My nose is like just dry, everything's dry, and I'm like, oh no, this is the beginning of a sinus infection. We still haven't made our collab videos. We were like, oh yeah, we'll do our collab videos Thursday, and I'm like, I'm not feeling well, neither of us are wearing makeup. We don't want to go through the struggle of putting on makeup for a video. We'll do it tomorrow, like I don't feel like doing it today. Friday comes along, and now both of us are sick. Sorry I brought over my American germs, and I think we were just both allergy ridden. Saturday comes along, and we're like, crap, this is our last day. We're both like mucusing everywhere. Shit, I leave tomorrow. Like, we gotta make our videos. In the videos, you can see, I'm gonna post them later this week, we're both clearly stuffed up. Our collabs where she taught me how to speak the slang of her people, and on my video, we were doing the 7-second challenge by Dan and Phil. We both went to bed at like 7:30. I had to wake up at 7 to get my flight back to good old States. It was pretty stellar. To the airport, we had to take the tram back, and it was kind of like a freaky experience. I didn't realize this the first time, but we were sat in the very back of the tram, and we were looking forward, and you could see the forward part like moving, and you were staying. It was cool. When we got to the airport in Manchester, we didn't know what the frick we were doing. Couldn't find out where we were supposed to go. We got to the airport, and my flight leaves at 12. So it took us so long to find out like where we were going. By the time I get to the actual airport, it's like 10:45, and you're supposed to be there 2 hours before your flight leaves for international flights. Waltzing around, I'm like, it's early, I'm tired and sick and irritable, and Piixie's doing her best to help, but I don't know how to navigate this damn airport, and I was like getting all pissed, but then I noticed that like she was getting anxious because she didn't want me to miss my flight, so I felt bad, so I was feeling like guilty and tired. I was hungry because I'm always hungry. My Cheerios, I had to leave at their house because I couldn't fit into my bag. It was just a mess of emotions. Thankfully, when I got there, my plane was still like an hour from leaving, so it was good. And as I'm sitting for my flight, I find some juggling Asians. Before I left, even for Manchester, my sister and I were trying to juggle, like learning how to juggle because it's what we do. And we're not trying to fit her into the dryer to see if she'll fit. We also play this game called Snaps, just for future reference. So I went up to these Asian kids and I'm like, my sister and I tried to juggle like a week ago. How do you do it? Here? And he like tried showing me, and I was really bad at it. It was amazing. Then I got on the plane. My seat was like 51F. And if you've ever been on a plane, the larger the number is, the farther in the back you are. Great, I'm sitting like in the back of the plane. 4 out of 5 flights of mine, I had window seats, which are so nice, but usually F is a window seat, which for this case it wasn't. It was like one of the middle aisle seats. There I'm walking and I'm like, this is getting really far back in the plane. So I keep walking and I'm walking. I end up walking to the very, very back. I'm not kidding. Like, the back. To the point where, like, there were no seats behind me, there were no seats around me. About an hour into the plane ride, one of the crew members came up and was like, you know, there's a seat open, like, over there if you want it. We really don't seat people back here. These are the crew seats. I'm not supposed to be sitting here, but I showed him my ticket and I'm like, I was supposed to sit here. After Din Din came around and they had a vegan cookie, I was all nice and peppy and reading my scorched trials. Actually, at this point, I think I was reading Death Cure. The crew was sitting next to me because obviously I was kind of like sitting in their seats. They were playing Snaps. If you don't know the game, it's because it's not popular. This one girl was really, really bad at it, and I'm not going to explain the game to you because if you know how to play Snaps, you'll know why I can't explain it. I'm trying to wink, it's not working. She was not getting it, so I tapped her on the shoulder and I'm like, it's Dr. Seuss. And the whole crew that was behind me, they're all my age basically. They're like, you know how to play the game? They're all from Canada, so I was like, I know how to play the game, eh? A sassy friend who was one of the stewardesses, he was like, oh my god, girl, you need to play with us. And I made friends. That flight lasted another 8 hours, and then I landed in the Toronto airport, and all they had was a bagel shop. I had a 6-hour layover. During those 6 hours, I got a bagel because that's all that was there. I was looking for a Tim Hortons. You'd think they'd have a Tim Hortons. They ain't got no Tim Hortons. So after the 6 hours, I got on my next flight, which was only an hour. I sat next to a very, very extremely pleasant Asian man. But he had his laptop out and he was playing Godzilla really loud. And he was like, he had the earphones in the thing, but they weren't in all the way. So like the audio was still on the outside, it wasn't in the headphones. And I could hear just everything in the movie. Not only do I have another window seat, which is lovely, but next to me is an Asian man watching Godzilla and just smiling. So then we landed and everything went okay. A couple things I came across, by the way. They do indeed call sidewalks pavement. They also say pop it, like pop it in things. They call like trash cans bins. Pop it in the bin, like throw it away. Pop it in the bin. Piixiie kept telling me that she says her T's like British people sometimes don't, but she does. But every time she said water, she would go water, which made me laugh. And she was really a big sweetheart. I stayed with her. She's the nicest person I've ever met. Go check out her channel right now because she deserves it. She just got me so many things in our swap gift. I'll do another video on it just because she got me so much. I don't think I can fit in this video. She kept saying that shopping carts were trolleys, and I'm like, shopping cart. She's like, no, get a trolley. And I'm like, shopping cart. We were like fighting on words a lot, but like playfully, obviously. She was trying to explain pounds to me and I'm like, I'll use my card. Oh my god. Also, while I was in Toronto, that airport, I found a dude who looked like the love child of Daithi de Nogla and Jacksepticeye. If you merged them together and added like 20 pounds, it looked like this guy. Absolutely had to get a picture of him because like, he looked like Daithi de Nogla, which is like that Irish dude who does the gaming. Didn't want to go back because I was in England and it was really cool. But, you know, Michigan's good too. All in all, I just want to say, like, go check out Piixiie because she was really, really nice and the best person ever. I'm starting to lose my voice, so I'm sorry. Give her all the love that you guys give me. I'm so happy that I had this experience. Like, none of this trip would have been possible if I hadn't just made a YouTube channel, you know? I never would have met Piixiie. She never would have watched my videos and contacted me. I would have never went to England. And I never felt anxious or anything to meet her. I never even felt anxious about finding my way around airports. I wasn't homesick. She made me feel extremely at home. I just really couldn't thank her, and I couldn't thank you guys enough because without you guys, like hitting 1K was a big deal, almost close to 2K. Makes me feel like you guys want to see me, which makes me want to make videos, which means I'm doing something that I love. It was a crazy, I'm really tired now after talking for like 4 40 minutes? I'm so sorry. Wrap this up. Look forward to the 7-second challenge on my channel. Look forward to Piixie's video, which is her teaching me the language of her people. And look forward to me making kind of like an England haul, which haven't done before. Really bad talking in front of the camera. We'll see how that goes. So thank you guys so much for watching TCYLXOX, and I will see you birds next time. Bye! See you next time in Michigan. Damn it.